Hello everybody and welcome to Learning at Home with Mrs. V. So today we're going to be subtracting with unlike denominators. So yesterday we were adding, today we're subtracting. Alright, so we're going to be going through the same exact steps except the operation will be different. Okay, so step 1 and step 2 are going to be exactly the same. When we get to step 3, obviously we're going to subtract instead of add. Alright, so step 1. We need to identify our denominators. We've got 3/4 minus 1/3. We've got fourths and thirds. So we identify those denominators and then we have to create equivalent fractions to make these denominators the same. So I'm going to create my count by or my set of multiples to figure out what do they have in common. So I've got 4, 8, 12, 16. So let's go through the threes. 3, 6, 9, 12. Aha. 12. So 12 is a common number that they have in their multiples. So I'm going to use that in order to create the equivalent fractions so that I can subtract. All right, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 3 times here. So I'm going to use that up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 times here. I'm going to use that up here. So I've got my step 1 done. Okay, I've got my multiples, my common multiples, and I know what I have to do up here. So now step 2 is to go ahead and do that. So I'm taking the 3 times and I'm putting that up here. And I'm going to create this equivalent fraction. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 3/4 and 9/12 are equivalent. All right, so now I'm going to take this 4 times and bring that up, subtract, and then I'm going to do 1 times 4 is 4, 3 times 4 is 12. 4/12 is equivalent to 1/3. So now I can subtract 9/12 minus 4/12. I've got my common denominator. So all I need to do, just like I do with adding, but this time I'm going to subtract it. I'm going to look at these numerators, 9 minus 4, that gives me 5, and then drag my denominator across. 5/12. All right, so let's take a look at this. Is this an improper fraction? Well, the numerator would have to be larger than the denominator. It is not. So this is the answer, and I don't have to do anything else, okay? No changing it back to a mixed number because it's not an improper fraction, okay? So very similar steps to the adding, except the operation is different. Okay, so we've got 3/6 minus 1/8. Again, identify those denominators. Now I have to create my equivalent fractions. In order to do that, I need to do a set of multiples or a count by. All right, so I've got my 6, so I'm going to count 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. I'm going to go ahead and write out my multiples for 8, 8, 16, 24, aha. My common multiple is 24. All right. So how many times did I count by 6s to get that 24? 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And how many times did I count by 8s? 1, 2, 3 times. All right, so I'm going to use this information up here to create my equivalent fractions. So 4 times up here. So I have 4 times 3 and then 3 times 4 and 6 times 4. So 3 times 4 would give me 12. 6 times 4 would give me 24. All right, 3/6, 12, 24ths. Those are equivalent fractions. Now I'm going to take this times 3 and bring that up here. And I'm going to do 1 times 3 is 3. 8 times 3 is 24. Because I have the common denominators, now I can subtract. All right, so I did step 2. And now I'm ready to do step 3, okay? So I have my subtracting to do. I subtract my numerators. 12 minus 3 is 9. and drag my denominator across. 9/24. Now, I have to check, is this an improper fraction? Is my numerator larger than my denominator? No, it is not. So I don't have to change that to a mixed number. I simply circle it because that's my answer. All right? So, similar steps than what we had to do with addition. It's just the operation is different. Remember to create your equivalent fractions by writing out your multiples. Find your common multiple. Use that information, tell how many times you counted, to tell how many times you multiply in order to create your equivalent fraction. That will allow you to have a common denominator, and it will be able to be either added or subtracted depending on the operation. Add or subtract the numerator, drag across your denominator, check for an improper fraction, and then you're done. All right? Any questions? Go ahead and email me, or you can ask for a Google Meet or ask me in class. All right, I want you to keep watching, keep thinking, always stay curious, and I'll see you next time.